What's up, everyone? Welcome to As the Culture Turns. My name is Jameer with the journalism. No, I'm not a journalist, but I got that journalism. All right, so before we get into everything, make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit that notification bell to stay tuned for more content just like this. All right, so I want to introduce my lovely co-host that I have for tonight. All right, so first I want to start with, well, y'all both ladies. I want to start with Chanel. What's up, Chanel? How you been?
Hey, Mir, how are you?
I'm doing good, can't complain. Good to see you as always.
Yes, it's good to be here.
There we go. Thank you. And I want to introduce our newest addition, Connie. What's up, Connie? How you been?
I've been good. Thanks for having me again.
You're welcome. Thanks for being had. I appreciate that. All right. So on today's episode, we definitely going to cover a variety of topics that have been going on across social media. But before we get into that, I definitely want to take the time real quick just to plug an event real quick. So first, I want to plug an event that I'm having coming up, which is called the Accountability Dinner. It was supposed to originally be me and City Council, but none of them really got back to me except for one. So Shaquan Davis from City Council will be on the panel. And that made me think, you know what? I don't really need City Council. I could create my own community council. So I picked great people such as Crystal Burrell from our class, Kiara Morales, Roland Taylor, Miss Zuline Mayfield, and as I said, Shaquan Davis, So this will be a Black Panther themed event. And it's something that, as we were talking about before off screen, I'm nervous, but I'm like anxious and I'm excited to step into these next levels that God be having me unlock, because I don't be knowing who I think I am sometimes. But yeah, I can't wait for the accountability dinner though. And Chanel, I want you to know especially, like, again, I'm not sure if you're able to make it or not. I know you are down in Maryland, so I'm not gonna hold that to you. But I do want people to know at least this. In the beginning of the show, I plan on playing like a slideshow, and a lot of it is going to be from our As the Culture Turns time leading up to now, So if people want to attend this event, make sure that you go to our Eventbrite. I'll put it down in the comments below. You can purchase tickets that way, or you could come straight to the Everybody Eats Cafe to get the tickets. I've been told that the tickets are selling, so my whole thing is trying to figure out how I can make everything flow, because I want to produce and have, how you have these like big ideas, and sometimes you have to be realistic. So I'm trying to, have the big ideas, but also meet myself at a realistic stage, So we'll see how it go. And after that event comes, we definitely got to film another episode so that, I can review it with y'all for sure,
Okay.
Before we get into everything, real quick, ladies, I just want to do a quick life update. Chanel, what have you been up to? You down there in Maryland? I know it's been snowing. Like, how has life been real quick?
Life is calm. I really can't even complain. We just had a snow storm that took me out of work for a week, and now I'm back into work. So I really can't complain. It's been good. But I think I actually might be in town on the 21st. So if I am in town, I'm gonna stop by. I'm gonna swing by. I think so. Don't hold me to it, but I think I'll be there.
No problem. Listen, that's good. All right. And how about you, Connie? Any life updates? Like, what you've been up to? Anything you want to let us know?
Life been busy. Life has been so busy between work, planning our class reunion, and I'm also coming out of step retirement. One of the local fraternities is having a step competition. I used to step in college, but me and some of my sorority sisters are coming out of retirement to compete. So busy. When I'm not at work and I'm not planning stuff, I'm at practice 3 times a week.
Okay. Do we got like a big performance coming up or something? You gonna do a little something at our reunion?
Oh no.
Well, whatever the practice and everything is for, I can't wait to, for you to announce it, and ways we can support, let us know for sure. All right.
Thank you.
But all right, ladies, I'm gonna get to these topics, right? So there's been some things circulating on social media that I want to get y'all opinion on in regard to these particular topics. So first thing, there has been a video that had been going viral recently in regard to an autistic son attacking his mother. All right, so first thing I want to do, I'm going to play the clip and then we will discuss.
No.
JB, stop.
Stop. Come here. Xavier, come here. Xavier, go to your room.
All right, y'all. So this is just a little insight of JB's room.
Not going to put you through more than you can bear. I know this is a lot, but we're going to get through it. We trust God, we pray, and we keep the faith.
All right, ladies. So I feel like y'all two are two of the perfect people to have this conversation with, because I know, Chanel, you work with children. Connie, you work in mental health. So I really want to hear y'all points of view on this. So I'm going to start with you first, Chanel. What are your thoughts on the video? And what advice do you think should be given to the mother in regard to how to properly handle the autistic son?
I'm gonna be honest. Can I kick it to Connie first?
No, you sure can. Yeah, kick it to Connie first.
I want to hear Connie's take on this before I say mine.
No problem. I'm gonna kick it over to Connie.
Yeah.
I had saw the video previously and also have discussed it with people. As you said, I work in the field. I started my career working with children with special needs, specifically on various areas of the spectrum. It also kind of like hits home for me, like family wise. My youngest nephew, who is like my most favorite person in the whole wide world, is on the spectrum, and I feel bad. But also I believe that, in 2026 is a lot. I'm not going to say too much, but it is a lot of information and resources out there. And I don't know how old JB is. Like, I don't want to say it's too late, but I would encourage that family to utilize their resources and do their research. Mm-hmm. The reality is, with Black people, like, we got to get over this, like, oh, we got to pray it away. We got to do this. We got to do that. You have to follow research. Mm-hmm. And again, I don't know how old he is. I don't want to say it's too late, but she should definitely look into changing his diet. Definitely. That is the number one thing I would say from my experience working with autistic children and my experience with my nephew, and just watching the things that my sister and her husband did with different delays that he had. I remember when I first graduated college in 2015 and got my first job, like in the classroom, I was working under this behavioral specialist, like a master's level behavior specialist. And in 2015, he was researching the diets for special needs children. And this was in a school in like West Philadelphia. And he was like urging the school to provide gluten-free diets to the autistic children, because the research he was finding found links between gluten and some of the symptoms and behaviors that these kids have. Fast forward to like sometime during the pandemic, 21, 22, when my sister and her husband received the diagnosis, they started doing their research. I kid you not. They took gluten out his diet and he started talking almost immediately.
Oh, wow.
And everybody's child is different. Like, everybody's family dynamic and circumstances is different, but that's just like an example I could use of like something I saw that worked. I don't want to say that like he too old or he too far gone, but he may need to be placed outside of the home. And I know that's like every parent's like fear, like you fear sending your child to a facility, and you fear, like something happening to them being abused or something in like another facility. Do you spend the rest of your life like that?
Thank you for that. Appreciate your point of view on that. Chanel, what are your thoughts?
I really actually thought it was very interesting to hear the diet piece, because I've always heard things about changing the diets of students or children with special needs. But thank you for sharing your firsthand experience with it, because I don't have any firsthand experience seeing a diet change and then students improve or anything like that. Like, not to say that I haven't seen students improve, but I wouldn't know if it was because they changed their diet. So thank you for that, Connie. That was actually really insightful. But so my take on it is very similar to Connie's, though. It's like, if you're not able to take care of the child, just like nobody wants to send their parents into a home. But if you know that you cannot take care of them, and it sounds like they have another person that another child that lived there. So if your child is causing a danger to you and your other child, I think for safety of the family and the child that's having these episodes, it might be better to place them in a place that can care for them, to have the staff on hand that can handle these behaviors, and also to provide therapy and mental health services. Because now I do have experience with a family member who lived in a long-term facility. When I was in high school, one of my close family members lived in a facility because it became too much for their caregiver to care for them. And once they went to this facility, they were much happier. They were healthy. We were able to visit multiple times because it was out of state. So we went often to see them any award ceremonies, graduations, just family weekends. We went and we visited often. So, and we called when we could, and they called us when they could. And so I know that there's fear there with putting your child in a place that you don't know, and you don't know these people, but there are good places that can take care of your child in a way that you can't. And I'm not a parent, but I know that a lot of parents, feel strongly about nobody can take care of my child the way I can, or better than me. Not to say that they can do it better, but they can provide services that we at home may not have. I 100% believe that a home might be the best place. And then I was reading the comments. When you sent it to me, I said, well, let me go look at these comments, what the people are saying.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the people was like, well, why you got the frying pan? Like, and that, come on, the frying pan can't be your I don't want to say remedy or consequence, or what, but the frying pan can't be that, especially if you have a child with special needs. So that already tell me you're not equipped. No shade, but a frying pan is not it. Yeah,
didn't even use it.
It didn't even use it.
So, like, what are you doing?
That's what I'm saying.
So it's like, what we doing over here? And the house looked tore up. It's come on now. Like, this is expensive to do all these repairs and keep your house together. It just doesn't look like a safe environment to me, for the child that's having this episode, for the mom, for the whoever else lived there. It just doesn't look safe.
Be heavy on the frying pan. Like, the frying pan was a paid actor, because it literally was just there to be seen and not used, and I know we are in the era of, again, we want to be more understanding of the autistic and everything, and more of the gentle parenting and stuff like that. My thing is, I feel as though that she definitely shouldn't be living there alone with him. So in the video, you can tell she was calling someone named Xavier, and then someone was recording it too, so I think it's other people in the house. My opinion, I would probably say, and not to have this person there to like abuse, but like I feel like it need to be like a man in the house, someone that can like really like instill fear in this young man, so that he don't even think about attacking his mother, because he even spit at her, And I saw the comments too, and some people was like, autism don't make you do all of that, but like Connie was saying, I know like sometimes everybody's child is different, but I feel like if you catch things like that early, that's why I think we were such a special generation. I'm sorry, the 90s kids, because we got it all. We got it all, and I feel like we are some stand-up individuals on the screen right here. Again, I know we are in a new time where, disciplining your kids is not the answer, because you ain't got to beat them, but I believe in wrinkling up a shirt now. Like, come on now. Like, bro, what you doing? Like, something needs to be done, But then that probably goes to your point, Chanel. Maybe if you're not equipped to take care of them, then maybe you should put them in a home where they could be taken care of. But then me being someone who worked in homes, and I see how people are treated and neglected in these homes, it's like sometimes those are not always the best places to send them. But like you said, there are some good places out there, so I'm a little conflicted. And I think for me, it's because I've worked in these homes and I see how people either get neglected or they even get abused in these homes as well, So, it's a tough situation.
I do just want to touch on real quick what you said about like instilling fear. I don't agree, but we can agree to disagree. Like, I think that when you are dealing with kids on the spectrum, like you really just have to do your research and figure out like what your kid is like, because I mean, look at his size. Again, we don't know how old he is. I would assume he was a teenager. Mentally, he may be a toddler. And that's why you're seeing some of those behaviors like the spitting and stuff. And like, I'm not even saying I disagree because like I'm this person that's like, oh, don't put your hands on kids, don't discipline them. But it's more so like disagreement for like, you really just got to know what level your kid is on and have patience and figure out what works for that specific thing. Because he probably like, I see some of the comments too where people was like, oh, like he know what he doing and you got to do this and you got to do that. Like it really don't be that simple sometimes depending on the kid and what level of the spectrum that they're on. And you, back to what you said, like you really do got to intervene early. You got to intervene early. And I would hate to say that like it's too late for him, but they gonna have to figure something out, some changes, whether changes in the resources and what kind of stuff they have in the home. I don't know, maybe learning how to do some restraints. Like, I don't know. Even like changing the diet. Like I said, from my family experience, like that is always the number one thing I will say. Look at what you're feeding your child. And we know in the Black community, like it's cheaper to get junk food for your kids. Like it's expensive. Like a gluten-free diet is expensive. If you look at that, it's so much stuff out there. Yeah. And I hope they find something that everybody is able to be safe and like live a happy and fulfilling life, because like that's no way for him to live either. Like the mom, like none of them, nobody should have to live like that.
I'm happy you said that because it takes me back to other things. Like I do feel like, and not to say that they're not trying this, but maybe like learning some healthy coping mechanisms. You know, I'm someone who again believes stuff like meditation, yoga, like, things that could kind of like help the mind and everything, help control the emotions. You know how they have like the little stress balls or the little fidgets and everything where you start to feel a little anxious and everything. Like definitely go into that type of bag first. You definitely should, because sadly he can't control it, Yeah. All right, ladies. So I want to get to this next topic, right? Because there was a lady who was shopping in a Family Dollar. Okay, so she is a TikToker. All right, so I want y'all to look at this lady's exchange with the employees, and then I want to get y'all's opinion on this exchange.
Now let me get the rest of this shit. I'm about to record this entire interaction when I get up here to this register, because my life is so fucking berserk. It's like people really don't believe me when I be saying, people really be coming for me for no reason, and I just be trying to mind my fucking business, get home in peace like I left. Man. Your camera on you? Why would it be on you? Who are you for me to be recording?
Who are you to be giving her attitude?
A customer?
Bitch, I don't give a fuck who you is. Stop giving her attitude.
And if I don't, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Nah, we're not doing this. You can go on.
Like, that's why I told you I'm gonna record the interaction. That's fine. You broke ass bitches gotta stay at work. Whatever, bitch. Fuck you. You ugly, mad, disgruntled ass. Black. I can be black. You're black too. You look stupid. What is wrong with these demonic ass bitches out here in Texas, bro? You are black too. What do you sound like, bitch? Your ancestors are as black as me. Y'all are ignorant as fuck. Every time y'all see a pretty ass woman, y'all get mad. Y'all was mad because I walked through the door and didn't say nothing and y'all in the walkway.
Who you calling a bitch? Who you calling a bitch? What do you want to do? Who you calling a bitch?
Do you know that's assault? Now you're gonna be arrested. Okay, we know you don't give a fuck. You bitches are so ignorant.
They go down at Family Dollar.
Shana, I want to start with you. What are your thoughts on this whole situation? Who do you think was in the wrong? How do you think it could have been handled? And your comments on Family Dollar.
All right. First of all, it always go down at Family Dollar. Okay. If you know, you know. Family Dollar ain't the one or the two. Okay. But I'm telling you, to be honest, off the rip, her demeanor was off. Okay. It was already off. All right. I'm going to be honest. Like, if somebody's asking you, hey, are you recording me? No, why would I be recording you? Da, 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 da. Like, I don't know. Some people be recorded. Like, people just asking, are you recording me? I don't think that was an issue with asking that question. And I feel like she wasn't like disrespectful with asking that question. I didn't see the disrespect there. But I mean, but I also think, and this is kind of back to Connie's point with your diet. Some of these people just be acting crazy, and I think it has a lot to do with just eating Takis and fast food. And I'm serious, because ain't no way you asking if ain't no way somebody's asking you if you're recording that should lead to a fight. I just don't see it. And maybe y'all ain't got nothing to lose out here, that you can just go out here cussing people out and just, maybe you got nothing to lose. Like, that's just my take on it. I don't know, like, because I just didn't see why it needed to escalate to that point. This is my issue, and not just with Black people, but just people in general in society. Everybody takes everything to the umpteenth level, and it goes completely awry for no reason. I just didn't see the reason for it to go that far.
I mean, what are your thoughts on the video, just the whole altercation and everything?
I almost feel like I missed whatever triggered this. Like, from what we saw, it looked like she kind of already walked in the store on 10. Like, she was in the aisle and was like, I'm about to pull out my phone and record this. Well, what happened? Like, it seemed like she walked in there with like a stank attitude or something already, ready to be on 10. Like Chanel was saying, like, people, like, what did you eat today that had you walking to the store acting like that? Because
did you even eat?
Did you even eat? Like, did you go in there hangry? Because I don't feel like that whole interaction was called for unless something happened that we didn't see. And like, what are you recording at the cash register for? That was weird. Like, if the girl put her hands on her, she shouldn't have did that, because like, that is assault. She is right. But the whole interaction at the counter, it seemed unnecessary from what we saw.
I agree with y'all. I definitely do think that her demeanor was definitely wrong. I feel like she was so hell-bent on proving the point that she went to the extreme to prove the point, So when the lady asked her was she recording her, she literally could have just been like, no, I'm not recording you. She was like, who are you to record? Like, that was really unnecessary. You did not have to say that, because she's the person that's bringing up your groceries, whether you think low of her or not, like, that's who she is in that moment,
And then insulting the fact that she have a job, like, you broke, you got to work here. I'm just like, the person is working. What are we talking about here? How you going to call somebody broke on their job? They on the clock. Okay? Like, what are we talking about?
Exactly. That's what I think too. And I do think as the employees, because like y'all know, Family Dollar employees don't care. I feel like I've seen Family Dollar employees see you at the register. They be outside smoking their cigarette. They're going to stare you down like, I'm going to smoke my cigarette first. I feel like the jobs that we are in, we have to show a level of professionalism, and I didn't see that from the workers. Number one, where was the uniforms? They looked like they could have just been regular shoppers in the store. Had they not been behind the desk, they would look like just regular people shopping at the store. Number two, I just feel as though that they had no real de-escalation skills, because again, I feel like once the lady had said, who are you to be recording, the lady went back to scanning, and then the other one jumped in and got real froggy, and then she came from behind the counter and walked up on her, So I do think the customer initially started it, but I feel like two wrongs don't make it right. They escalated it further and came from behind the counter and everything, And again, the girl was hurling insults and everything, calling them 9-to-5 bitches and everything. Like, I'm not going to tell nobody how to react, but you got to deal with the consequences of your actions, and that's on both ends, This is not how we should be doing Black History Month, but listen, hopefully they change their diet so they stop eating so much Takis, like Chanel said. All right, so I want you ladies to see this car incident. All right, so there was an incident that happened. So we talk about the snow, right? A lot of people have been snowed in. Cars got snowed in. And there have been situations where there have been altercations over parking spots, okay? So I want to play this clip from this recent situation in regard to a parking spot. And I want to know, do y'all think this person took it too far?
I live across the street and somebody packed my car with snow. I was wondering if you saw anything or heard anything.
Did you take somebody's parking spot?
I don't believe so. Like, this is just a parking spot. This is the parking spot, like, literally right behind yours.
Yeah, I know, but people have been digging out their parking spots for them.
I don't know that that's the case because I've literally been parking here all week.
Yeah, all week since that parking spot been dug out. And you live across
Okay,
the
but
street.
like I said, did you see anybody who did it or saw it or anything? I don't live across the street. I live in the apartment building. We just can't get in our lot.
Yeah, I seen who did it.
Okay, thank you.
Motherfucker said we took it too far. I don't give a fuck. Bitch, you can have a spot now. She going to be motherfucking hot. Cause that bitch ain't got work tomorrow.
Hi there. My name is Rich Pierce. I'm a reporter with Channel 11 News. We saw your video, your many videos. We were wondering if we could do an interview with you about the whole situation.
The reporter took me out. I'm sorry.
Yo, I ain't see that.
You ain't see that? I bet, Chanel, I want to start with you on this. What are your thoughts in regard to that video? Do you feel like that person took it too far in regard to that situation? And should people not park in people's spots that they shoveled out?
You know, I've been delivered from parking wars, so I don't feel as strongly about my parking spot like I used to. Okay, now, because really, I used to feel very strongly about my parking spot. Like I probably would
enlighten us,
or I would not feel that this lady was wrong. However, I do feel like, come on, y'all, like, this is so childish. I don't know. Maybe I'm just an old person now, but I just feel like, so you took all this time to gather all this snow for what? Now she's still in your spot, though. Now she's still in somebody's spot. Like, she's still gonna be there. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Like, you don't really win by putting somebody in the position where they still in your spot. Like, she's still there. But at the same time, I guess when people be seething and they be angry, you know, I guess they have to get it out some way. But I'm not gonna say she took it too far, but I do think like it's just, I don't know. I'm old now and I'm like so calm now that I'm just like, this is so annoying. Like you know, I'm calm now. So I be like, y'all doing the most.
So unnecessary. It's like you have time to do that. You said it's cold as hell. The amount of time it took her to shovel that stuff. And that was commitment because it was like shoveled up on the car. It wasn't like you just did her tires. You did the whole car, you know?
Yeah.
Like you had to really be so mad that you didn't even feel the cold out there. You know, you was steaming. That's crazy. I can't believe that. What are your thoughts on that, Connie?
I had to keep muting myself because I couldn't stop laughing. Like, on the one hand, I want to say they took it too far. Like what y'all was saying, how did you have that much time, strength, energy to do all of that? But on the other hand, you gotta know the parking etiquette for where you live at. She probably in one of them gentrified neighborhoods that built up an apartment complex by the hood, and she done parked around the corner of somebody's spot. Let me tell you, I still get involved in parking wars on my parents' block. Let me ride by their house and somebody in one of the spots my dad dug out for him and my mom. Mm-hmm. I'm knocking on doors. Mm-hmm. I'm definitely knocking on doors about my parents' spots because, I mean, they're older. Mm-hmm. They're older. Like, my parents, they might be the only homeowners on their block. So them spots that my dad dug out in front of their house need to be available for them. Yeah. And I don't play like that when it comes to them.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what? I don't blame you for that because, like you said, like if he took his energy and time out to do that and listen, that's his spot. And I also remember when people used to put like cones and chairs in the spots. I know a lot of like places like, oh, you can't do that anymore. But I'm like, put a cone or something in your spot. You don't want nobody to take it, then you should have put something there so that nobody took your spot. Like, I know when I was a kid coming up, we did like, try to reserve our spots if we had like in front of our house and stuff like that. But I know if it was taken, you would be like, okay, well, where I'm parked at, you would find your spot. But then when that spot was empty, you went back into your spot. Like, A is empty, somebody go stand in the spot, I'm coming back around the corner.
If you take the time to shovel out a spot and everything, like that is annoying when someone else just reap the benefits of what you just did, especially if it took you time, especially in this cold that we're getting lately. Like, you almost want to crash out, And Shanae was saying, like, when people used to put stuff in that spot, nowadays people are moving that stuff. They're not playing. They moving your chair, your little trash cans. They moving it. Like, I remember when I lived at Topi Farms, we had these neighbors, but they were like real obese, right? So what they did, so nobody parked in front of their house, they had put a handicap sign right there so that no one could really park right there, So listen, I know whether if it's like a age thing or whatever, some people should try to look into those. That way those spots are secured, whether they are home or not. I feel like that's like the route to go. Because again, they're gonna move your little chair, and then it's gonna be a little fight in the street in regard to that. Or you're gonna do what Chanel said. You're gonna have to find another spot. You're gonna have to be out the window every 5 seconds, waiting for them to move, and then you got to go grab your car to move.
It's just neighborly respect, So,
all right, y'all. So listen, keeping it on homes, right? All right. So there was a video that someone had put out in regard to a maintenance man. All right. So a maintenance man went into someone's apartment. And ladies, I just want to get your response on this video. And how safe do you feel with maintenance men entering your premises without you being home? Let's play the video and then we will discuss.
Was that a fart?
So for those, that was a part. Yes, it was. That was a part. Yes. So for those who need more context, he peed in their sink. All right. So instead of using the bathroom, he peed in their sink. So what are your thoughts on that video? And how comfortable do you feel with maintenance men entering your apartment without you being home? I'm gonna start with you first, Connie. And yes, that was a part.
I am flabbergasted. I'm flabbergasted. I also have cameras inside my place. So I would say overall, like, I feel pretty comfortable. I do try to schedule maintenance for when I'm home. I used to work at night, so I would always be home during the day when they would come. Now that I work during the daytime, I do try to like schedule it depending on what like the issue may be, which I don't really have that many, but when I need them to come out, I like to make sure I'm home. But if they got to come in here, which they have while I'm not home, I be right on the camera looking to see what they're doing and zooming in, and I make sure I have the angle where I could see like everything I need to see when they come in. So overall, I feel comfortable.
There we go. So what are your thoughts on that maintenance man deciding to use their sink as a bathroom and then farting at that?
That was absolutely disgusting. And he should not be able to get a job nowhere ever again. That's disgusting. And he is sick in the head. To do that in somebody's sink. Like how many people units have he gone into and did that? And like you probably do that at your house. That's nasty. Like what I want to know, like I got questions now. Like what did you even go in there for? Like was that an authorized entry into that apartment? Like you just going in there and pissing? He need to go down to one of the places and get checked in.
I agree with you. Yeah, definitely. And before I get to you, Chanel, I want to say this. So I forgot to upload the picture, but y'all, he was.
Oh, I seen that. I saw that. I could tell.
She said, "I could tell." What's your thoughts, Chanel?
I could tell. So my thought that was just the nastiest thing I've ever I want to say ever seen, but one of the nastiest things I've ever seen. Because when you live in an apartment and you have somebody coming over to fix something or whatever, you're trusting that they're, doing right by you as the tenant. You're paying these people thousands of dollars of rent. And when they come to fix something or are in your premises, you are expecting that they are going to treat your apartment like their own because you're paying them. And the fact that he's coming in here and disrespecting your place, I don't know if this person had other cameras set up throughout the home, but you don't know where else he was going in your apartment. If you see that he's already doing this in your sink, but what else is he doing inside the apartment? That's just so such a violation of privacy and such a violation of just your home and your space. It's just so unfortunate that people are just so nasty and just disrespectful, and it's just weird. What is going on? It's just nasty. But when I did live in an apartment, I was comfortable with our maintenance guy coming in and fixing stuff when we weren't there. And when we had to get something fixed, we would put in the request, and then it says, are you comfortable with somebody coming in when you're not there? And you can say yes or no. So the times that I needed something fixed, I was comfortable with the guy coming. He would fix stuff and it would be fine. But now with me having, this was before I had a dog. But now with me having a dog, I want to be here because I leave my dog in the house and I don't want nothing to happen to him or my other dogs. So definitely have to be here for them because I had to put them away and all that stuff.
Listen, I think it's a theme for tonight. These post-pandemic people, I don't know what is going on. And the thing that gets me, I'm pretty sure the bathroom was probably 5 feet, not even 5 feet. It was probably right over there. You couldn't go use the toilet because now y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Let's say if a maintenance man is in your apartment, right, and they have to use the bathroom. Would you mind if they used your bathroom? I would rather you much use my bathroom. I mean, please go before you come to my apartment. But if you have to go, don't shit now. Don't be pooping in my bathroom now. But if you gotta do a quick pee, what I don't know won't hurt me, so do that. But again, the fact that you pee in these people's sink and it was dishes clearly in that sink, it goes to show what was the motive for this actions and why would you it was so many things. I saw someone say in the comments, and I didn't know that you could do this if this is a thing. It's probably illegal. Someone had put in the comments, they had said that this is why every time they get an apartment, they change their locks. Because ain't nobody gonna be in their apartment without them knowing, Now, I don't know, because I didn't think we could do that. If that's something illegal, I might need to change mine. Because at this point, I don't like that, and you never know what someone is doing. Like you said, Chanel, you're trusting people to be in your home, when I make maintenance requests, I make sure that I'm making my home comfortable for you to enter, so like you said, sometimes I got to put my dog up. I got to make sure it's clean, for company to come over, I'm making sure of a lot of different things just so that when you do come over, it's not like the trash stink or, my room door open and closed all over the place. I'm actually making my house presentable for you to come in, so you should be coming in my crib with the same intentions, and this is just a bigger sign. Everyone get cameras in your house at this point. Just get cameras in your house because you don't know what these people be doing and you don't know what people been doing for years prior to us having cameras,
Yeah.
And I didn't think about that, Chanel. Now I'm about to start not letting them in because I do be leaving my dog here, but I'll be having them tied up for them, And my dog, the type that he'll let them run over this whole place, and not say nothing. So, I'm sorry, Chulo.
Not you gonna put Chulo out there? No, you gonna look back at him before you talk about him. Not loyal.
He just got me. He just bit me the other day when I was cutting his hair, But he don't pay me no mind. But that's crazy though. Yeah. So maintenance men definitely gotta do better. You're in people's homes. You should treat it with respect. Is what I think the moral of that story should be. Yeah. All right. So real quick, I got one more video I want us to review before we get out of here. Okay. So this is coming from an OG. Okay. So ladies, I primarily want y'all opinion on this, but I might chime in as well. So there was a lady by the name of Hala. She has some videos on social media, and I want to know what are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on this topic she was discussing with her grandchild? I'm gonna play the video and then we will discuss.
Do you believe in the fact that you're not supposed to date somebody that your sister went with or something like that?
I don't give a fuck. That's her business. To each his own. If that's your, this is mine.
But if your sister went with this,
that's her goddamn business. I don't give a fuck who she went with. If the time comes up and the situation occurs.
Okay, then you ain't loyal, huh?
I don't give a fuck about y'all. I'm judging by dicks and pussies. I ain't judging by no law. Law my ass. That what did I go get you? A star of crime? No. You better satisfy yourself. You ain't gonna be here forever. Don't be no fool. If the opportunity, you ain't got to go tell the world.
Oh,
and they ain't gonna know unless you tell them. That's me and your secret. And I've done it. Shit.
And you done it?
Fuck yeah.
How that means can't nobody trust you around that
well, that's your business.
Okay, Mama.
I just want to know, what are your thoughts in regard to her? Do you think she said what she said, or what she said was some bullshit?
What you said was some bullshit.
Elaborate.
I think that older people, they get away with just saying anything. And so, so not too much on my mom because, she done lived her life. She did what she did and there's, whatever. But girl code, no. Okay. Absolutely not. I could not see myself talking to anybody that my sister ever dealt with. Ever. Okay. That's just like a line that I don't even want to think about crossing. Okay. I don't even want to think about the line. It's just something I just can't bring myself to. Okay. And it's so funny that we talked about this because, child, listen, I don't even want to even say on this, but people have thought that me and my sister did that. And I was like, what? Like, what? I would never. And I think that at the time I was in a relationship with somebody else and she was dealing with someone else. And I don't know where this rumor came from ever, but yes. And I was just like, that is crazy. Cause like me and my sister are close, but we ain't that close. We might share a purse or something, but I mean, no, ma'am, no, sir, no, they, them, her, no.
What are your thoughts on that, Connie? In regard to what she said, what she said, what she said, or what she said was some bullshit.
She might have said what she said for her age range. Because I don't know, back in her day, they might have got down like that, but us millennials, we ain't getting down like that. Mm-hmm. I'm 10 toes down on girl code. Mm-hmm. But back in the day, they might have got down like that. I got uncles that share baby moms, so they might have gotten down like that.
Mm.
So
I want to say something, right? Because I like to spill some information. So I remember I had a best friend, right? And I remember this best friend of mine. I remember his baby mama was trying to sleep with me, right? And I remember being so 10 toes down, like, no, I would never do this. Like, you should know, like, and this wasn't even my brother, but this was like a brother, So when his baby mama tried to sleep with me and I told him, the way the nigga got mad at me, I might as well have slept with her. Like, when I tell you, when I told him the situation and they flipped it on me as if I was jealous of their situation and it flipped on.
About this, Jameer. We talked about this a long time ago.
Yeah, I did tell you about this. And Chanel, you'll know because when we did the photo shoot at my house, that person took the pictures. Yes, there we go. Mm-hmm. There we go. It goes to show that, listen here, she said something in that video about loyalty and respect, And I remember I was loyal to the soil, I was loyal by default. And nowadays, I'm not going to say I'm not a loyal person because I am, but I much rather have respect than loyalty because loyalty is, what's the word? It's subjective depending on who you're loyal to, So that's right there was something that I went through and it made me feel like, damn, I should have just did it anyway. And I stood 10 toes down, So that's why me personally, I stay out of people's relationships. I try not to get involved in it. And I don't even want to give you advice on certain things because I don't need you to making up. And then next thing you know, you're looking at me like I'm the hater, especially when I told you some real shit. Sorry, I got triggered for a second. All right, ladies. So thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much for joining me tonight for As the Culture Turns. I appreciate it. I always love having y'all opinion and having y'all give y'all thoughts on things that are going on in this world. You know, I want this show to kind of be a space where I could kind of get some great voices like you two to kind of, discuss these topics. And I kind of, sit here and moderate it and, jump in at times and everything. But Chanel, for anyone that want to follow you on social media or anything you want to plug, how can people get in contact with you?
Sure. So I'm on Facebook under Chanel Rorie, Rorie. That's my Facebook. And my Instagram account is iChanelJ. And I'm actually trying to build my YouTube up. So I believe it's under my same name. I think it's still iChanelJ. I'm trying to, revamp, do a little lifestyle situation. So, it's coming. But Facebook, Chanel Rorie, Instagram, iChanelJ, YouTube, iChanelJ.
And Connie, how can we plug you? Not how can we plug you, but where can people find you if they're interested? Social media, and what do you want to plug?
You can find me on Facebook, first name Mega, last name Khan, and also on my Instagram _MegaCon_. At the moment, I'm just plugging my class reunion, class of 2011 pull up.
Yeah.